Sue, you want to open an orange. How hard can it be? Well, apparently harder than you think, because you've been doing it wrong your whole life. I'm here to set the record straight. But fair warning, once I expose how you've been messing up, you'll never unsee it. So watch at your own risk. You may think you've got this whole orange thing down pat, but trust me, what you're about to learn will blow your mind. By the end of this video, you'll be peeling like a pro. But first, let's dive into why your current technique is totally off base. You see, we humans have been opening oranges since forever. And up until now, most of us have followed the same basic method. Find an orange, rip off the skin, eat the segments, repeat. Problem is, this seemingly simple task has a lot more nuance to it. And if you don't understand the basics of how an orange is structured, you're doomed to fail. If you're thinking a video about peeling fruit is wrong, well, you'd be right. But bear with me here because there's a method to my madness. By taking a closer look at what we're working with, I'll show you why your standard approach just does uncut it, and how a few simple tweaks can transform you from an amateur into an orange opening aficionado. Trust me, you'll never want to go back. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's address the elephant in the room. Why does this seemingly simple task have so many landmines waiting to explode your technique? Well, let me enlighten you. Oranges, much like us humans, have their own unique anatomy. And if you don't understand the lay of the land, you're bound to run into trouble. First, oranges are made up of many individual segments, held together by a central core. Each segment contains the juicy bits you actually eat. Then, surrounding the segments is a thin membrane called the pith. The pith helps hold everything together, but it's not exactly delicious. And if you accidentally include it while eating, it can ruin the flavor of the fruit. But wait, there's more. Outside the pith is the peel, which yes, we typically remove before enjoying the orange. However, the peel isn't just one seamless covering. It's actually made up of several smaller sections that naturally separate at the top and bottom of the orange. These sections are connected together along a central line running down the length of the fruit. And lastly, nestled within all of this is the juicy goodness we actually eat. Each segment is filled with tiny air pockets that when crushed release the sweet nectar we crave. Now that you know the basics of orange anatomy, let's get peeling. Our first technique is my personal favorite. It's super simple, requires no special equipment, and is guaranteed to leave your fruit looking like $1,000,000. This is the Equator method. To begin, find the widest part of your orange. This is the equator. Notice how the peel looks slightly different here. It's less taut and easier to work with. Next, use your thumbnail to gently press into the peel. Just break the skin, not the flesh underneath. This is crucial. Now, work your way around the circumference of the orange. Keep your cuts shallow and focus on creating small slits. Don't worry about slicing into the pith. At this stage, we're just breaking the surface. Once you've made it all the way around the equator, twist the two halves apart. Voila! You've successfully separated the peel into two pieces. Now, depending on whether you want to eat your segments right away or save some for later, choose either option. For immediate consumption, simply separate the segments with your fingers. For storage, I recommend leaving the segments intact for maximum freshness. While this method works great for most oranges, some may still require a bit of extra love. That's where our second technique comes in, the spiral strip method. Start at the top of your orange, which should have a slight indent. This is where the fruit was attached to the tree. Now make a small cut in a circle around this top area. Again, don't slice too deep. With your circle complete, start at the center of your cut and work downward. In a spiral fashion, move steadily around the orange. Apply gentle pressure and keep the peel in one continuous piece. As you reach the bottom, you should have one long spiral strip. Remove it carefully from the orange and admire your work. This technique is great because it minimizes waste and leaves your orange looking pristine. Plus, it's perfect for saving some for later. Simply pop the peel back on and store it in the refrigerator for up to 3 days. When you're ready to eat, give the orange a quick rinse. Remove the peel and voila, you've got yourself a fresh snack. Alright, if you're still with me, I've got one last trick up my sleeve. This technique is super controversial but yields amazing results. It's the microwave method. While some may argue it's cheating, I say if it works, it works. Begin by placing your orange in the microwave. Heat it for 10 to 15 seconds, not 1 second longer. The heat softens the peel and loosens it from the fruit inside. Now here's the tricky part. Carefully remove the orange from the microwave and allow it to cool slightly. Touching a hot orange is never a good idea. Once it's cool enough to handle, start slicing the peel away. You should be able to remove large sections with ease. Be mindful not to slice too deep and ruin your segments. With a little practice, you'll be opening oranges faster than anyone else at your next potluck. Now that you've mastered the art of peeling, I've got some bonus tips to take your skills to the next level. First, try peeling a cold orange. They tend to be tougher and more difficult to work with. Bring them to room temperature first for optimal results. Second, if you notice your peel starting to tear instead of coming off cleanly, try rolling the orange on the counter with light pressure before peeling. This helps break down the connections between the peel and fruit inside. Third, if you absolutely must peel an orange quickly, such as during a photo shoot, don't hesitate to use a vegetable peeler. Just make sure to check for seeds before diving in. Okay. As we come to the end of our peeling journey, I want to show you the dramatic difference between our new techniques and the old way of doing things. On the left, you'll see the classic haphazard approach, resulting in torn peel, messy pith and bruised segments. And on the right, the epitome of efficiency, cleanly peeled segments, minimal pith and no mess. This orange transformation didn't convince you. I don't know what will. Remember, with great peeling power comes great responsibility. So use these techniques wisely and never settle for anything less than perfectly peeled oranges. Whether you prefer the equator, spiral or microwave method, there's no denying the satisfaction of biting into a freshly peeled orange. Now that you've mastered the art of peeling, it's time to put your skills to the test. Grab an orange, put on your favorite tunes and let the peeling commence. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found value in this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I would love to have you back for more. Until next time, happy peeling!